Even as Mayor Scott promises to lower property taxes for Baltimoreans, many Marylanders could end up paying more after this year's statewide budget passed with $1.6 billion in taxes and fees. Much of the criticism surrounds the controversial new tech tax. As Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor tells us, several Maryland businesses, based tech companies, are now sounding the alarm.
Yeah, a growing number of tech companies tell me that they are packing up and preparing to leave the state if the governor were to sign off on this new tax, a move that they argue will punish innovation and crush their margins.
We're kind of red state curious, Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida.
After more than 2 decades.
So we don't have any long-term leases in Maryland.
Of making and marketing software here in Maryland.
We're actually looking at Wyoming, which has 0 corporate tax.
Todd Marks, the CEO and founder of Baltimore-based MindGrub Technologies.
Personal and or corporate tax.
Is considering a move he never planned on making.
We've got one foot out the door in this state, but we would gladly just stay here than leave.
Pushing him out, a pending 3% sales tax on IT and data services, set to take effect July 1.
Amendment is adopted.
Lawmakers fast-tracking the tax towards the end of session, giving little time for tech companies to prepare or weigh in.
Almost a third of your bottom line. So it's super impactful if you can't just readily roll it over to your clients and make them pay, but then why would they pay more if they can just hire a company in Pennsylvania or Virginia and not pay 3% more?
Echoing Mark's concerns.
I've been here 30 years. I've raised children here. I want to stay here.
Wade Berger, owner and CEO of Ascendant Innovations, a federal contracting firm in Hanover.
It's actually a 624% increase in the tax burden for Maryland just on my company. That's not something that any of us saw coming. It's not something any of us can budget for.
Both say they'd lose about $250,000 in additional taxes annually, while the state expects to make about $500 million in new revenue.
That in itself pretty much puts a lot of the small companies like mine in jeopardy.
We're shrinking as a state, and you need to grow. And to grow, you have to, the expression is money goes where it's welcome, right? And we don't welcome money here. We push it out of state.
The future of the tax and potentially Maryland's tech industry now sits on the governor's desk, waiting to be signed into law.
Yeah, it's not too late to fix this.
Mark's noting Brian Crosby, one of just 2 Democratic lawmakers to vote against the tax, has already moved his company to Virginia, claiming the tax would cripple his business.
When companies can leave, the last thing you want to do is tax them more, because they will leave.
Now today I reached out to the governor's office asking if he had any response to these concerns being raised by Maryland tech companies. I also asked if he'd be willing to meet with any of them in person before passing this tax into law. As the news time tonight, though, I have not heard back. In Baltimore, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.